Welcome to my build of a 60-inch wingspan Das Ugly Stik, and today I'm going to be starting to cover the wings. Like with the fuselage, which hopefully you'll have seen the previous video where I covered that, I'm going to be using this yellow on the underside like I did on the tailplane, and then I'll be putting a Ferrari red on the top. I'm using Lightex, which is a lovely material I get from World Models. I really like that. It goes on really nice, shrinks well, stretches well. It's a good material. So I'm going to be doing the yellow first, lapping that round, and then doing the red on top with a little bit of a seam. It's very thin, this material, strong but thin, and so the seams don't really show that much, even though they're on the top surface. So that's quite pleased about that. I'm going to be leaving the camera running, and I'll play some of that or all of it back as high speed film. Depends how it works out a little bit, and I'll try and move it around during the process, and I'll try and keep out of the camera view as much as I can. But to be honest, you need to focus so much you kind of forget about the camera. And if I can, when I'm doing things like the wingtips, I'll zoom in and I'll just talk a little bit about kind of my thinking on how I'm doing that. So let's get this on and get it finished. It's getting really exciting. Now these wingtips are always tricky. I don't think anybody probably likes doing wingtips, but what I've done is I've got this on nice now. There's no major wrinkles or anything like that. So what I want to do is tack down this wingtip, and then I'm going to turn it over and I'll finish off these seams, get those nice, and then I will probably shrink this. I mean, I'm kind of tempted just to put it on all like this and then shrink it all together, but I'll probably do it as I go. So I think the trick here, if there is a trick, is to just pull it as best you can and then shrink it to fit. I think I'm probably going to start at this end and work my way up to the point. There is going to be quite a bit of slack here, so I'm not really sure the best way of doing that, but I'll see how it goes. Now, I don't know how to get this done without cutting this. That's not going to shrink out, I don't think, with the hot air gun. I could try, but I think that might damage it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cut along here and then overlap that. I think that's Right, well, I've now put the film on the underside of this wing, the right hand side. I've left it still slack. I haven't shrunk it at all. I've just stuck it down. The only bit I have shrunk is just this bit here, and that's only because I'm going to then join this side onto there. So I wanted to make sure that that was reasonably taut and ready to receive this side. I've lapped it over on the bull nose. I brought it right over and tucked it under. I just want to make sure that's got quite a nice hold on there and something for the top to stick onto. The top I'll bring over the bull nose and just coming on the underside here so that the seam is, or the wind is blowing the seam flat rather than trying to lift it up. And also I've done this big overlap here, and the film on the top will just come round and it'll just come probably halfway or to the bottom of the aileron bay. And again I've overlapped the end. So I will move on now to this side and carry on covering. Right, well, I've now got both undersides finished in this yellow, and I've shrunk it off, and it's gone quite nice and taut. No wrinkles, well, actually there's a little bit there, but yeah, it's looking really nice. It's gone on quite well. It's a bit difficult around these hatches here for the servos, because it hasn't got a very good hold on those lips without the plate being in, and so it does go just a little. You can probably just see there's a little bit of slack in it. So I mean, what it might be worth doing is, once I've actually mounted the servos, got the plate in, just touching that with a hot air gun. But it's a lovely process, shrinking off this. It's something I always feel nervous about doing, because if you go too far, you've gone too far, and it's not very, you ruin it. But it's very rewarding to see it shrinking. It's just got to touch it with the heat. So I'm going to take a short break now, and then I'm going to come back and start to put the red on the top. Well, the end of a long day, and I've got the wings completed, and it went pretty well. I'm fairly pleased with it. There's the odd crease. I think there's a crease here just on the front, the bull nose. This bit here could have been better. I think I've designed that a little bit differently in the past, but no major dramas, so I'm really pleased with it. So next stage now is to get the control surfaces covered and start to get get them fitted, get the servos fitted on this lovely yellow underside, and then it'll be starting to actually bring the whole plane together and see how it works, and hopefully get it into the sky.